Cameron, it's always a pleasure to catch up with you. An amazing night on the 1st of August with the launch of An Awesome Ride Through a Father's Eyes.
Correct. Rula?
What a successful night.
It was amazing. It really
and
was.
And a lineup of big names there as well.
Absolutely.
Well done to you. Well done to the whole foundation.
Thank you very much.
Let's talk a little bit about the people that were there. Now, we had the chairman.
Yes.
Alan Finney.
Alan Finney's very special. Not only is he the chairman of the Sean Miller Foundation, he's an Order of Australia. He's been in the industry, film industry, as a distributor and marketer since the 1970s. Been responsible
How did you
for a lot
meet
of
him?
Through my connections when I was young, through the film industry. I was on the fringes of the film industry, and it took me a long time to get to know a person like that. We had some lunches here and there, and began to trust me, and we become very good friends.
Well, I will say something, and listening to you right now, your confidence has just built since 5 years ago when I first met you.
Thank you.
So my hat goes down to you. We also had the martial art expert,
Yes.
Zane.
Yes. Zane was very special to Sean.
He was a self-transformation expert.
Not only that, he's a healer, and as I said, he became very special for Sean. As he helped Sean deal with his impending death. He helped Sean because Zane had to deal with cancer. Zane fought back from cancer.
Now I'm going to ask you a tricky question here.
Okay.
Are you sure Zane helped Sean, or did Sean help Zane?
Probably a little bit of both. Yeah, a little bit of both. Yeah.
And Naomi was there as well.
Yes, Naomi was Sean's agent, and
she's from Small Fry.
She's from Small Fry Agency, and her husband recently passed away of heart disease as well, which was quite sad.
Oh, that is sad.
So she helped Sean get jobs, and because Sean was looking at doing some acting, and funny enough, he did a cameo before he passed away in Neighbours, and he loved that.
And they were going to offer him a part as well.
Yeah, they were looking at him as a 2-year character, which was fantastic. He had that spunk. He had that spunk. He had that look. He had that X factor going on.
Well, that X factor got him onto the footy show.
Yes, it did.
And he got to meet Sam Newman.
Yes, he did.
And Sam Newman, again, we've got to thank him. Once again, he's been part of the foundation to help.
Correct.
He's been a huge supporter of the Sean Miller Foundation.
He has been. Yes.
And a lot of people don't know that much. They don't really know that much about Sam and his feelings towards those beautiful cardiac children.
Sam's got a really big heart, and he's got a very big heart for Sean because of their connection.
Yeah, they met.
Yes, in 2012.
Tell me one thing you remember about Sam Newman meeting Sean.
I never forget in the green room after Sean had done this wonderful... Sean was very sick that day to do it. He went to the hospital in the morning, and he said, I want all these tubes out. I'm not going in as a sick child.
That's right.
And, we didn't even know he was going to get called up, and he got called up and jumped up like there's nothing wrong with him, and went joke for joke with Sam Newman and Joe Watson, and Sam said to him in the green room, I'll never forget, he said to him, Sean, I've got one question I'm dying to ask you. And Sean goes, dying, ha ha ha.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and he said, how do you feel that you're going to die soon? And he said, Sam, we're all going to die soon, mate.
What a special young man.
He was.
He touched many, many hearts.
He has. Over 7 million at the moment.
And over 7 million, and this whole team who are now being put together for the Sean Miller Foundation.
Yes.
And even Garth Wood, who beat Anthony Manning.
Correct.
Yes, he was part of it as well.
Yes.
Now, there was a time when Garth spent time with Sean.
Yes, he did. How that come about was Garth had won the contender, and Garth had received a message from Facebook. He had like a fake Facebook page.
As most people do, and follow us.
Yes, from a young boy, saying, my name's Sean Miller, I've had 2 heart transplants, 1,000 operations, blah, blah. And they didn't know whether he was real. When they found out he was real, Garth contacted me on a mobile phone and said, can I talk to Sean? I said, who is this? He goes, it's Garth Wood, I'm the boxer. And I said, oh, here you go, Sean. I used to call Sean the boss. He was always the boss. And I say to people, if Sean was here and the foundation was running, I would be getting coffees. He'd be the CEO. Sean was always the boss and the leader. And him and Garth become very good friends. And Sean motivated Garth to fight Mundine. And as Garth says to me, if it wasn't for Sean, he wouldn't have thrown down against Mundine because he was afraid. He was afraid.
He touched so many people, so many. I want you to tell me about the Sean Miller Foundation. I want you to tell me when it all started. Why was this foundation created?
Or I'll be honest, at the start, it came from a dream. I was working what I was going to do with my life personally, and I went to bed one night and I had a dream from Sean saying, "Dad, I want you to start a foundation in my name," just like that. And when I look back at some of the little hints he was saying before he passed away, like look after my legacy, I'm thinking, what legacy? What are you talking about, Sean? But all the dots have become in a circle now. It's almost like he planned all this. It's all been a plan from him from the get-go. And that's what's beautiful about it.
You know, again, as I said earlier, listening to you and remembering when we first met, and it was just after his passing. You hadn't been 12 years yet. And you wanted to continue his work.
Yes.
And his legacy.
Yeah.
And I remember you saying, I don't know how I'm going to do this. And it's really beautiful to listen to you now. And I know your journey, and I know how you've spent a lot of time with many, many beautiful cardiac children. Yeah. And here you are today with the foundation. What does the foundation actually do? So, foundation stands for, is we bring awareness. What people don't understand about CHD, congenital heart disease, 8 babies are born with this horrible disease a day, and 4 sadly pass away every week. Oh, wow. And they're numbers that we don't hear. We never hear those numbers.
And in America, it's worse. Every 15 minutes, a baby's being born with CHD every day in America. Like, that's that's serious numbers. So we're talking, so I worked it out, probably in the last 7 or 8 years, 100,000 kids have passed away with this disease. Not only that, the knock-on effect, I say to a lot of people, you throw a pebble in the lake, even the fish feel it. What I mean by that is the knock-on effect. You know, what it has when a child dies of CHD, the relatives, the friends, it destroys people's lives.
But it all starts from home, and it all starts within a house with a mother and a father. It does. And you have experienced this. I have.
And that's why I've looked at it very carefully. And what we're doing in the Sean Miller Foundation, as of 2019, we are looking at building the very first Sean Miller house, which is going to take care of these parents, so they don't have to, when they're in grief, they've got somewhere to go. So as a foundation, we can collectively put our arms around them and say, come with us. We're going to look after you from a counselling perspective, so from an exercise perspective. If you want to go and hit a punching bag.
And what a perfect person you are to be able to speak to these people, because you've actually lived it, you've breathed it, you've spent time in these hospitals with these children and watched a lot of them grow, and unfortunately a lot of them pass as well.
Absolutely. I remember a distinctive call I had in 2000, just before I did the footy show, a lady who called me, and her daughter had passed away at the Alfred, bled to death on the operating table, and I was in my room and I'm thinking, how do I talk to this lady? And she's saying to me, you're the only one that understands what we go with CHD. I got in my car. I haven't told many people this. I got in my car. I put my phone on charge. I put it on the holder, and I spoke to her. I spoke to her for 3.5 hours, and I ended up in Horsham. Wow. That's how far I drove. I ended up in Horsham because I had to get this lady off the edge because she was suicidal.
How do you actually cope with your grief, and then to actually help other people with grief, particularly when they feel suicidal because of what they're experiencing? How do you help them prevent it?
From my perspective personally, that's why the houses are going to be so beneficial, because people like me or people like other parents can come in with counsellors and guide people about what we're going to be through. Like, I'm not an expert in it, but I can sort of
you have a personal experience. Yes. And that's something that you can't buy or learn in university. No. You can learn the basics, and you can learn about mental health. Yes. And, the signs and guiding people to seek that help. But unless you've personally experienced it. Yes. And it's about gratitude too. It's like these people, these individuals, they're babies or teenagers,
they've been through a lot. And Sean said to me, I'll never forget something he said to me. We got offered a mechanical heart from the Texas Institute. They contacted us from Texas. And they said, we'd like to give Sean a $250,000 mechanical heart. And Sean turned to me and goes, he put his hand up in my lap and he goes, Dad, he goes, give it to someone who's worthy. So people don't understand, Sean chose his own destiny. That's why it took me a long time to understand now. He chose his own destiny, and that's where I can't be selfish because he chose his own destiny.
And let's talk about his destiny and his journey, just to revise for people that don't know that much about Sean as yes. 1,000 operations.
Yes, 2 heart transplants.
2 heart transplants, and he was also the youngest ambassador.
Yes, he was.
For the cardiac children.
And he did an inspirational video on YouTube called My Final Goodbye. And how that come about, Sean had before that, about 2 months before that, he was complaining of this major pain in his stomach, and they found out that he had a burst appendix, and the medicine was covering the burst appendix. They couldn't pick it up for ages. So he was in a lot of pain. So when he finally got out of hospital, basically he said to me, I've got to do this video on the way home in the car. I'm thinking, video? What are you talking about, Sean? He goes, no, Dad, I need to do this video. And this was my final goodbye.
Wow.
So he went into his room and did this video called My Final Goodbye. I went to bed, and in the morning, it's like I'm getting all these calls. He goes, Dad, I put a video up on YouTube. I said, Sean, I told you not to do that. And he always did this. He was headstrong. He always did that. That was him. And he goes, Dad, I'll put this video up on YouTube. I'm like, oh my God. And I had 500 missed calls on my phone. It was 100,000 hits on YouTube in 4 hours.
Amazing, isn't it?
And it just went viral, this message. And what's been good about My Final Goodbye, the countless suicides that has helped over the time, that's what's been good. It's helped a lot of countless suicides. I had a girl from Florida contact me recently. Sean's video's at 7 million hits now. Over 7 million hits. It's been on Dr. Phil.
That's amazing, isn't it?
It's been on Dr. Phil. But it's a video that helps a lot of people. There was a young girl who contacted me from Florida. Out of the blue, she just contacted me on social media and she said, Mr. Miller. I said, oh, Mr. Miller. I'm thinking, oh, that's what we call my dad. But anyway, okay. Mr. Miller, all right. And she said, I've been cutting my wrists every day. I'm like, oof. And she goes, and I said, look, why don't you go and look at Sean's video? And she came back to me about a month later. She goes, not only did I watch all Sean's videos, but I've read his book and I'm going to live life to the fullest like Sean now. And I've told my parents what I'm doing and I'm not going to do that anymore. So his video, his book has helped a lot of people. And, I don't know how many suicides has it helped, so, but, my grief, I learnt a lot about myself during my own grief, and that's where I'll be personally involved in parents, and I always will be, and I look back at what Sean did. Back in 2000, Sean had just had was waiting for his second heart transplant, and a lady from Alabama called Sandra contacted us out of the blue. She contacted me, and she goes, "Oh, my son's just passed away," and I just said, "Look, I'm just going to hand this over to the boss, Sean. I'm going to let him handle it."
Wow.
He spoke to this woman for 6 months. Every day I come home from school. 6 months he spoke to this woman, and she only this year told me if Sean hadn't have done what she would have committed suicide. She had two other children, but she lost her son Nathan, and Sean helped her at 13 years old, a woman in her 50s, not commit suicide.
Well, now you're continuing his legacy to do that, and you're doing that through A Father's Eyes.
Yes, correct.
Through the book.
Through the Father's Eyes, yes.
Yes, and this book is hitting the big time, isn't it?
Oh, look,
right through to Channel 7.
Yes.
Let's talk about it.
Yes.
Let's talk about it. You're on Channel 7. Tell me, how did you get on Sunrise? How did they pick you up, Cam?
That was Penguin's work, not mine. Penguin organised everything. Penguin have been fantastic. Penguin have done a great job on the book, as you can see it. They've put a great marketing team together, got a great publicity team. It's all Penguin books.
Tell me from from a father's eyes.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, we want people to buy the book,
Yeah.
read the book. Yeah. Was it difficult through a father's eyes to write the book?
Yeah,
because I don't believe this is a book that took, a week or a few days to put together.
No, that's 5 years worth there. I started penning notes, and I didn't know whether I wanted to write a book, but I just started penning my own little notes. And when I was contacted by Andrew Clark, that's my co-writer who wrote the book with, and I'm thinking, but you've written books for Matthew Lloyd, and you've written all these sports. How are we going to work? How are we going to work together when you've only written books for sporting stars? And he said, no, I want to write the story. So we worked together, and we co-wrote the book together.
That's amazing.
And it's taken, it's 5 years worth there. So.
To help people.
Yes.
And the most exciting thing that's happening, let's talk about it. It's the...
Drum roll.
Drum roll. Hang on, what about the rest of the media that's supported you? That wasn't just Channel 7, Cam.
Oh, okay, yes, okay,
Cam,
okay,
it wasn't
Ruler.
just Channel 7.
Okay, Ruler was fantastic, yes.
Yep, the
yes,
KK factor.
Yes, and I have to say, when I first met Ruler, my favourite food out there, guys, if you want to get to my heart, just buy me a chicken parma and I'm yours, okay?
And now following Ruler,
Yeah.
the KK factor, so guys, yes.
Yep.
Thank you for that.
Yes,
and
that's
I
okay.
have been very supportive with the Sean Miller
You have,
Foundation.
yes, you have. Thank you.
We have the movie.
Yeah, that's yes, yeah. As
It's
I said,
all happening.
I can't
say too much.
I can't say a lot of that. I'm very tight-lipped, but hopefully in the next 3-4 months we'll be doing a big publicity campaign on the movie and letting everyone know about it. But the good thing about it, it's going to be the very first motion picture for CHD ever. There's been Fault in the Stars, cancer, my sister's keeper, cancer. So there's been all these films about cancer. I'm thinking, but CHD is one of the biggest killer of kids in the world. Why hasn't there ever been? So now there'll be a movie based on Sean's life, and he's led a very interesting life, that is.
And you've led a fantastic life.
Thank you.
And I know he is very, very proud of you.
Thank you.
Because you've continued his work, you've continued on his legacy, and you've come a long way.
Thank you.
And I've got to say, I'm really proud of you.
Thank you. And what I say to a lot of people is the foundations, I believe it's everybody's, and everyone can be a part of our foundation.
How did they become a part of the foundation?
They can be part of as an ambassador. They can be part of sponsors. It took us. People don't understand. It took us 3 years to start the foundation. To put the whole thing legally and everything together, because there's a lot involved. A lot involved putting a foundation together. And heart to heart, we can basically all do this together and bring awareness. And the fantastic thing is, in the next 10 years, we hope to have a house in every state in Australia.
That's fantastic. Well done to you.
And that will help prevent so much suicide in parents. And I remember last year I was a bit upset. A parent, I didn't really know, but I heard about it through other people. A woman who lost a child, went into a garage and hung herself. And we lost that's a parent we lost. And that was quite sad.
It's not easy. It's not easy
no.
losing a child.
So, our motto in the foundation is, we help mend broken hearts. So even if we can mend one broken heart at a time, I think we've done our job. And I think Australia should be proud of us as a foundation and what we're going to do for the parents, because people don't understand, when you lose a child in the children's hospital or whatever hospital is, Westmead, Monash, there's no aftercare for the parents. There's no aftercare. They just, with Sean, they'll just give you a box of these things and say, or whoever, and they just let you go. And I'm thinking, you've been this person's carer, like me personally, or Sean's carer for a long time, and
who's going to be your carer now?
That's what I'm saying. Look, it's not their fault. Otherwise, the halls of the hospitals would be full of parents.
That's exactly.
But that's where we will step in as a foundation. Our first house is going to probably cost approximately $3 million. That's our first house. But as I said, we'll charge people a small fee, a short term. But as I said, in that house there'll be we'll have a chef, so they won't have to do little things like cook and clean, and just the little things that matter, and just the right people, the support staff to pick yourself up and look after these people collectively. So, and that's why I say, as a foundation,
we need a lot of sponsorship.
Yes, we're looking for sponsors. We're looking for super funds. We're looking for brokers, real estate, builders, whoever wants to get involved with us. All you have to do is just contact the SeanMillerFoundation.org, and one of us will email you back.
And remember, it's a tax deduction too.
And absolutely, we're 100% tax deductible too. So,
Cam, thank you so much, and we cannot wait
Yep.
for the movie. But right now, everybody get behind the book.
awesome ride, Through a Father's Eyes, released August 6th.
Thank you.